All right, my people, let's talk about how I was deported. It's a really long story. It's a roller coaster story, actually. So please bear with me. First of all, this will make better sense if you watch the first part of this story titled My Crazy 40th Birthday. You can pause to watch that right now, or you can watch it after. That will answer a lot of your questions. And if you can watch this video till the end, you will be happy that you did. I know it's really long. No vex. So after having Bobo in the summer of 2023 and going through all those pregnancy complications, I made a video about how I almost died from internal bleeding and blood clots. Victor thought I needed a real vacation, and because we were moving, we thought, let's just wait till my birthday and do everything together. So we thought, what better way to enjoy life than to go on a 7-day cruise? Actually, I think it's 8 days, getting on a massive ship, 18 stories, enjoying all kinds of live shows, Broadway shows, dance, unlimited entertainment, unlimited food from several restaurants, stopping in Rotan, Honduras, Costa Maya, Mexico, Consume, Mexico. Whoo, child! Thank you, Daddy Otena, by the way, for recommending a cruise. I was sold. So each time that a friend would ask, Adeola, what are you doing for your 40th birthday? I would say, oh, we're going on a cruise. So, and we started hearing things like, okay, then we're coming with you. And we were like, wait, what? So after a number of friends expressed interest in going with us, we thought, okay, let's just tell our other friends as well, so that they will know that this is what is happening for my 40th birthday, in case you guys don't already have a vacation plan for next summer, so that you will not see that we went on a cruise with some friends and it will look like you were not invited. And before we knew what was happening, 46 people, close friends, had registered to go on the same cruise. These people paid their own way from different parts of the world, from Canada, from Mauritius, from Nigeria, from different parts of the US, just to come and celebrate your girl. Thank you so much, every one of you. A lot of people actually wanted to go, but some of them could not take time off work. Some of them already planned a vacation, you know. Now, shout out to Kiona Experience by Zoe. That's a luxury travel concierge based in Florida and owned by two amazing Nigerian women. Oh shit! Bumi Edwin and Zainab Dan Kaka. Shout out to both of you. I love you guys. If you're planning any getaway, destination birthday, destination wedding, anniversary, or you just want to have a fun vacation anywhere in the world or here in the US, this is not an advert. This is me sharing with you the company that we used that helped us organize a getaway for 50 people when you add my family to the number. Her company is phenomenal, guys, and they are very professional. Hello. They specialize in curating luxury bespoke travel experience tailored to your own individual preferences. Whether it's a corporate travel or this is exclusive getaway, please make sure that you contact them. They will book your cruise for free, by the way. Of course, you will still pay the cruise line, but if you also want them to plan your event on the ship, then you will need to pay them for extra service. So unfortunately, a number of people couldn't make it even after they had paid, and it was really heartbreaking, guys. One of my fathers, a pastor, and his wife, they had paid. They had to cancel because a friend had fixed a wedding date on that day. Also, someone coming from Nigeria, her visa had been approved like a month to the cruise, but the US embassy refused to return her passport until after the cruise. It was heartbreaking for me, guys. Another friend's flight was literally cancelled by the airline. Even if she caught the next day's flight, she wouldn't have been able to make the cruise. So I was already down that all these people won't be there and they had paid. I did not know that even I would not be at my own party. Yay! Fun! Thank God for the party that they had for us at King's Palace in Katy, Texas, which is detailed in the first video, so make sure that you watch that. Now, for some reason, that very morning of the cruise, I woke up and I wrote in my journal about how faithful God has been. See, normally I would write my journal at the end of the day, but that day, I don't know why, I just felt like I needed to pen some things, and I just started listing several miracles that happened. I also wrote down about how I really wanted to give my guests an African sweatshirt, you know, along with other things that I wanted to give them, and I couldn't find one that I really liked until I randomly found this vendor in Kenya via Instagram that delivered. So yes, this was ordered from Kenya. I've seen in the comment section some of you saying that you really like the sweatshirt when I wore it the other time, so I actually ordered this from Kenya for my guests. I also wrote down how I was so grateful that all the guests that could make it had arrived in Houston safely the day before, and you know, I listed so many things, just grateful to God. And then I ended that entry with, I'm so glad I could pen this morning. As we go on the cruise, I know it will also be filled with testimonies of God's faithfulness. And then I said, thank you, Haba. Haba means father, for 40 years of your faithfulness. I love you. You know, I did not realize that God was reminding me of his faithfulness that very morning. He wanted me to remember that he's faithful ahead of what was about to happen. So the church gave us 2 buses to transport our guests from Katy, Texas to Galveston, where we would board the ship. Thank you so much, Pastor Badru. Our guests were already in the bus waiting for us because the church had a Thanksgiving service for us. So we stayed for the Thanksgiving and then we rushed out as soon as it was done, even though the service was still going on. So we were the last ones to get on the bus. They were moving our bags. Victor joined them and I was looking after the kids and they got everything, or so we thought. Now, a few minutes after we took off, you know, on our way to Galveston, where we would board the ship, Victor said to me, Olufe, I don't see the laptop bag. I said, Abba, you're being paranoid. They helped us move our stuff. Why wouldn't they move the laptop bag? Relax. Inside the laptop bag were our passports. You see where I'm going? Anyway, so when we got to Galveston, the bag was nowhere to be found. Okay, so we had dropped all our bags while we were looking for the laptop bag, and they've taken them along with other people's bags into the section where they check in luggage. So they've checked in our luggage, but we're still looking for our laptop bag that has our passports. We only had one small bag with us. It doesn't even have any of our clothes. We searched both buses, nothing. At this point, I started having trouble breathing well. You know, some people were greeting me. Adeola, it's so nice to meet you. I saw them, but I did not see them. I responded to them and I smiled, but my mind was not there. I called Bro Fred. That is the daddy that had been driving us the whole week. I said, Daddy, did you notice any laptop bag in the car? It was a no. Daddy searched everywhere. The bag was not there. I was like, okay, this is not making sense. I called the hotel. Maybe we left it there. The hotel said, okay, call back after like 15 minutes. They needed to find someone to go into the room and search the room. We called back. They said there was no bag. I said, what's happening? I called Pastor Badru. I said, Daddy, come to the long. Any chance there's a laptop bag in your car? Daddy checked. He searched everywhere. It was a no. Now you have to picture this. Everybody that gets to the port is excited to get on the ship. Our party had already gone through checking. Most of them had gone into the ship. Only a few people were still checking in. So we finally went inside the terminal to check in, and Victor explained to them that we forgot our passport in Katy, which is 1.5 hours away, but we've checked in online. We've uploaded copies of our passports on the portal, you know. And they said to him, are you all American citizens? And he told them, I and the kids are, but my wife is not. She's a green card holder. That's me. And they said to him, well, those of you that are American citizens, you can get on the ship, but she cannot. Oh God, this thing is funny now, but it wasn't much funny back then. Remember I told you I was already having trouble breathing, but by now we have passed having trouble breathing. We are way past that. Oruko ko mu mi wa, as in otutu tuwa mu mi ya. I was hot and cold at the same time. Like, what did you just say? What did you say? Like, this is not happening. This is not happening. Victor looked at them like, what do you mean we can go? Are you suggesting I get on the ship without my wife? Some of our friends started noticing something was happening. So they came closer. You know, at some point I said to Victor, you know, you should go with the kids. He looked at me like, you must be crazy. He said, you're out of your mind. I'm not going anywhere without you. About that time, Pastor Badru called. That he just got home and somehow his wife discovered a laptop bag behind the driver's seat. What? Pastor Shade, God bless you. You are the one that solved this problem. Anyway, I said, Daddy, that is where our passports are. He quickly called Bro Fred to come to his house to get the bag and bring it to us. It must have been at least 45 minutes to an hour that we've been at the port. So Bro Fred had to go to Pastor Badru's house to get the bag and drive 1.5 hours to get to where we were. So we told them, okay, we found the passport. Someone is bringing them. Only for them to tell us, well, on a normal day, we would wait. You know, we usually don't take off until later. But on this very day, they said the ship is leaving early because Hurricane Beryl was going to hit Houston that night. So the ship wanted to get as far away from the coast as possible before the hurricane hits so that it won't hit them. Now, most of our guests, like I said, they had already entered the ship. So many of them had entered their hotel rooms on the ship. They were sending us some pictures. Kat was already inside. Dr. Lovett was inside. Lisa, the Oduwales, yeah, good. They were all inside already. Some of them were already sending pictures of their view of the ocean from their room. Okay, they did not know what was happening at the terminal. It's a big ship. More than 5,000 people were on that ship. So my cousin Adeola and her husband, Dr. Osunji, so they were done checking in when they saw us. They turned back. They said, well, if you're not going, what are we doing on the ship? Auntie Kemi Adetayo. Auntie Kemi, I love you. Auntie Kemi and her children. They were also checked in already. When they saw us, they turned back. They insisted they are not going anywhere without us. Guys, I was already feeling a huge guilt for what was happening. Remember, Victor told me, I'm not seeing the laptop bag go, and I dismissed it because normally I was supposed to get on top of it and be like, wait, so I better stop the bus. So we need to find our laptop bag. I'm that kind of person, I knew without passport we cannot get on the ship. And guess who was reminding all the guests to remember to bring their passports? Me. I was the one reminding everybody. So it was completely out of character for me to have dismissed it when Victor brought it up. So I was already feeling huge guilt. I was also feeling really bad for those already inside the ship because they were expecting us. And then you have these two families insisting that they are not going if we are not going. Guys, that was more than I could bear. I mean, these people flew in from Maryland, from New York. They did not forget their passports. But because of me, they're about to miss out on what they had been looking forward to for almost a year. Because one of the reasons we decided to go on a cruise is so that everybody that comes could have fun. When you are on a cruise, there's a million things to do. You don't need to worry whether or not your guests are having fun. They're having fun the entire time. In fact, we did not plan more than 2 events together. Just the birthday party and then the African day. Those were the main events that we planned together. We wanted people to have fun. Go watch Broadway shows. Go do whatever you want. Go on the crazy rides, the roller coaster. And they've all been looking forward to it just as much as we were looking forward. So I started begging them, please, don't make it more difficult than it is. Please go. They refused. I knelt down for them. Now, at this point, I had to send a message to the WhatsApp group that we've created for the cruise, the same one that I had been using to remind everybody not to forget their passport, especially those coming within the US. I said something like, I'm so sorry, everyone, but we left our laptop bag in Houston. We are not able to board the ship. I'm truly sorry to disappoint you. Please have fun on our behalf, something like that. People were like, Adeola, is this one of your jokes? God. They actually thought that I was joking. And when they realized it wasn't a joke, it was not funny at all. They were literally in shock, like, what? But Rotimi Oluwatoyinbo from Newfoundland and his family, they were also done checking in. But when he saw what was happening, he stayed. He was trying to reason with the crew. They told him, go and speak to the captain on the ship. So he went on the ship and he mobilized everybody in our party to go and see the captain. I heard that they all put up a protest on the ship. They literally said that this ship is not going anywhere unless Adeola gets on the ship. Thank you guys. Woo, child, these are real friends, y'all. Victor had some military friends that came on that cruise and they were in gangster. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. The captain was really nice, guys. They told me the captain was so nice and that he said that normally he would wait for us, but a hurricane was coming. And so for the safety of everybody else on the ship, that he couldn't. I mean, we cannot jeopardize the lives of other people. So our friends wanted to get off the ship when they found out that we're not allowed, we can't get on. But they had already closed the doors. It's a really big ship, like I said, 18 stories. They can't just open and close the doors. Meanwhile, bro Fred was driving so fast. He said he was just going. He didn't even mind whether or not he would get a ticket. He drove so fast that he got there in about an hour. It's supposed to be an hour and a half journey. Unfortunately, they couldn't reopen the door, And so we all just watched as my birthday cruise left the shores of Texas. And that was just the beginning of a series of adventures for my family, the Osunjis and the Adetayos. And can I just say that not once, did these people complain. They were even the ones trying to cheer me up. By the way, those who got on the ship, they also didn't find it funny. I mean, there was a general disorientation, like, we came on this trip to celebrate Adeola Fayehun. What just happened? And then many of them, they didn't know each other. Victor and I were supposed to be the ones to introduce them to each other because they were our friends from different parts of the world. And we were supposed to have the icebreaker game that evening after dinner. But hey, what just happened? We travel a lot and we've never forgotten our travel documents. If you know Victor, he's a very careful man, always prepared, never late unless we are traveling together. Very principled, very disciplined, even before he got in the military, you know. And I'm like the opposite. I'm always playful, you know. Now, at the same time, I kept wondering about the times that we wasted searching for the bag, calling the hotel, how different people searched for the bag in the car and they didn't find the bag until it was late. And I didn't even know how to pray. You know, people were telling me, "Onyuntolo fishe, there's a reason God allowed it." But I didn't want to hear that. I didn't. I was just numb, you know. I was staring into nothing. So while our guests were on the ship, the first thing that we had to deal with was the hurricane. God, it rained cats and dogs that night. I stayed up watching the hurricane and the tears kept rolling. I was like, I did not sign up for this. The trees were falling. People were losing electricity. The Osungis suffered though. Their hotel room was flooded. See, if we were going through all that alone, it wouldn't have been so painful. But now I invited people to come and have fun. They paid their way. But now they are suffering all because of me. That's how I felt. And so that burden was an extra layer to the guilt that I was already feeling. I also felt terrible for those on the ship because they couldn't enjoy it as they would have if all went well. Although what happened actually bonded them quickly. They were all working together to see how we can get on the ship. And the biggest guilt was seeing our kids crying. And Zion kept asking, "Mama, where is the big boat?" Because we had told her that we were getting on a big boat. Now, in all this, I kept remembering the journal entry of that morning, telling myself, even now God is faithful. And I was like, okay, He's faithful. He's faithful. God is faithful. Even now, He's faithful. And the only prayer that I could pray was, God, please hold my hands. Please hold my hands. Now, because they checked in our bags on the ship, we had no luggage except for that one small bag. There's no clothes. The same with the Osujis. I think Auntie Kemi had one bag with her. They had checked everything else on the ship. So all we all had were the clothes on our backs. Baba, we suffered, guys. We suffered. Thank you, Pastor Badru, for not leaving us to suffer alone. They put us in a hotel. They even sent us food. And I just want to say real quick, guys, that I am extremely grateful for Victor. Woo, if you know my husband, please help me thank him. I think not once did he say, "Modeso," and I said it. Not once. He already knew how I was feeling. I mean, who wants to miss their own birthday party? He knew me so well that I would blame myself for everything. So he never blamed me. In fact, he took responsibility. He insisted that he should have done more than just bring it up, you know. And he kept telling me to stop blaming myself. Ololufe, amontolon fishe. That's what he kept saying. That means we don't know why God allowed this. Victor is a really good man, guys. Woo! The thought of him gonna always make me feel jelly. I always feel warm inside when I think about Victor. Emotasio. He's a really good man. He's a really good man. And that is why I keep recommending him to you guys, that if you are trying to buy a house anywhere in America. Now, this one is an ad that Victor has to pay me for. Ben, if you are trying to buy a house anywhere in America, call Victor. He works with Keller Williams and they have agents, thousands of agents all over the country. He will always hook you up with someone. And if you want investment properties, even as low as $250,000, it doesn't matter even if you don't make a ton of money or you are self-employed. He's a licensed realtor and he has lenders that will work with you. He also works with property managers in case you are not living in the US and you need someone to manage your property. Don't call him to say that you want to speak with me, by the way, please, because some people did that and no, it's not a good thing. Please don't do that. That is his work number. If you want to reach me, this is my email address. You can always email me. And for those who are not interested in buying a house, you are not interested in buying a property, check out his YouTube channel and his Instagram page for some $1 million homes. homes that will inspire you. It will give you inspiration on home decoration and ideas for whenever you're ready for your own house. So the link to his YouTube channel will be in the description. Please subscribe to his channel as well. Victor, pay me for this ad. Anyways, back to the story. Bumi of Kiona experience. She went above and beyond for us guys. Since the ship was going to stop in Honduras on Wednesday, remember this happened on Sunday, she arranged for us to fly to Honduras to join the cruise in Honduras. So we checked online to see if Honduras allows green card holders into their country without a visa, and the internet said yes, so long as you are not staying for more than 90 days. So it's the same thing with going to Mexico and Canada. Green card holders, they don't need a visa to enter Canada or enter Mexico. So we didn't think that there would be an issue. By the way, shout out to Uncle Dimeji Oladele and his wife at King's Palace. You're that for you, you tell me hey, thank you, but I Dimeji. So to you know that this man and his wife, they came to the hotel. The hotel had lost power, and so they came to pick us up to feed us at their beautiful mansion so that we could have electricity and access to the internet. And at their house, we were able to purchase our flight ticket to Honduras. So we bought plane tickets for everybody that stayed behind as well. How do we even thank them for their sacrifice, you know? So we were so excited. Every one of us were excited that finally we would join our friends on the ship. Guys, where are we going?
Honduras!
Where are we going?
Honduras!
Why are we going to Honduras?
We're going on the cruise!
We're going on the cruise! So we drove to San Antonio that night because the hurricane shut down all the flights from Houston. Pastor Badru. Pastor Badru is my father. Anyways, I really don't know how to thank you because this man arranged for our transportation to San Antonio. We stop at Walmart, you know, to get some clothes, just to have a change of clothes, guys. So we spent the night in San Antonio in order to catch a flight early on Tuesday morning. That was a story on its own because we had to change hotel due to some unforeseen circumstances happening at the hotel. We had to move our stuff with car because we didn't have a car, you know. In the middle of the night, we were going from one hotel to another. Everybody was exhausted. Anyways, early in the morning, we made our way to the airport. Excited, we went through immigration at the airport. They checked all our documents. The airline told us that we were cleared to enter Honduras with green card. Africa team. When we landed in Biko, it was a different story. Honduras immigration said we needed a visa to enter Honduras. We said that's not what we found online. Green card holders are allowed to enter without a visa. They said that is true, but it does not apply to Nigerian passport green card holders. I was like, wait, what? Like, come again. You do green card discrimination here based on passport? Like, hey, green card is green card. Why would anybody with an American green card want to run away to Honduras, regardless of the color of their passports? It's a third world country like Nigeria. I was like, okay, we noticed that you have visa upon arrival. They said, yes, we do. Okay, so can we please apply for the visa upon arrival? We're ready to pay. They said, yes, we have visa upon arrival. But it is for other countries, not for Nigerians. I was like, wait, what? They said Nigerians have to go to the Honduras embassy in Houston and then get a visa and then you can come back. I was like, what? What are you saying? Why is everything against Nigerian passports? Why is it a crime to be a Nigerian? So we explained that we are not staying in your country. We just want to get on a ship, which is literally 10 minutes from this airport. They asked if we work on the ship. We said no. And then they said they needed to go and talk to their boss. When they came back, they said the boss said that not only would we not be allowed to get on the cruise, but that in fact she would deport us. At first I was like, deport, okay, nobody is getting deported here. We insisted on speaking with the Oga, and so she came. This is the Oga.
So, pass over here, please. Ingreso.
We greeted her very well. We explained our predicament respectfully, showing her the evidence of the cruise, including the email that we got from the cruise line that authorized us to join them in Honduras, because you can't just get on the ship in Honduras without their authorization. So we showed them their email and all. Nah, she saw everything, and she still insisted that we would be deported. That was how this woman ordered that we be detained at the airport. By the way, this was a third country airport, okay? No AC. And it was freaking hot, guys. The children were crying. They just put us in one room, which was also their office. So we were all cramped with the staff. The door wasn't locked, of course, so we were going in and out because, hey, I was ready to fight. The whole airport is like, it was really small. We tried to reason with this woman. She no grew. That was when I switched it up for her, like, Kilode Gono, what exactly is the color of your problem? We are not here to stay. We just want to get on the ship that is 10 minutes from the airport. We even told her, Madam, you can escort us to the ship. Oh. Nah. No. Sometimes this woman no gree. The kids kept crying. They were hungry. They were thirsty. I asked them for water for the kids. This woman refused. She insisted we give her the kids' passport before she would give us water. So I gave her the kids' passport. She still did not give us water. And she did not let anyone else give us water. By then, I was furious. I really don't care who you are. You can do your job and still be human. I was so mad. Please, I understand that she was doing her job, but she could still be nice. I was so mad. Victor was so upset. We were all giving it to her back to back. Like, these are kids. And the most annoying thing for me is that they kept talking about us amongst themselves in Spanish. I wish I learned Spanish, guys. So we had no idea what they were saying. And I kept telling them, you should at least have the decency to speak in a language that we understand. How can you have visa upon arrival and be discriminating against us because we are holding Nigerian passports? How can you allow green card holders into your country without a visa, but not Nigerian green card holders? How does that make sense? They said our passport is category C. We were like, what? I checked online, and in fact, guys, I found out that Nigerian passport ranks really low, not just in the entire world, but even in Africa. Forget about Seychelles, Mauritius, South Africa, Botswana. Those ones are gone. Forget about Kenya. Forget about Ghana. Do you know that passports of the Gambia, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Zimbabwe, Niger, Liberia, even Cameroonian passport allows you to travel to more countries without a visa than Nigerian passport? As in. Can you believe that Nigerian passport is only better than 5 other countries in Africa? I'm just focusing on Africa now. South Sudan, Eritrea, Libya, and Somalia. Except Ethiopia and the DRC. They all rank the same level as Nigerian passport. Guys, at that particular time in detention, I wanted to say a special prayer for the Nigerian government. Woo, child. Let me just say real quick that it's not like the usual detention where you are locked up. No, we were all sitting, it was an office, but they still detained us, Now, I travel a lot. I've been to so many countries, and this is not the first time that I will experience some kind of discrimination or embarrassment because I have a Nigerian passport, but this was the pinnacle, guys. So later, Madam told everybody else that if I don't behave myself, that we will all sleep at the airport. Ooh, that made me mad even more. I was like, hell no, very weary. I did not budge. Now, after keeping us for some hours, Madam decided to put us in a hotel, saying that she would deport us on Thursday. This was Tuesday. I said, the ship is arriving tomorrow and leaving tomorrow, Wednesday. Why do you want to keep us till Thursday? Even if you want to deport us, then put us on the ship. The ship is going to the US. The cruise will still end up in the US. She no agree. To cut the long story short, she decided to put us in a hotel, but she insisted that the men have to sleep in one room and the women have to be in another room, just to make sure that we don't run away. And to make sure that we comply, she sent 2 security guards, immigration officers, to go with us. One woman to sleep with the ladies, the man to sleep with the men. I was furious. I was like, where do we want to run to? You want to separate husbands and wives? Not happening. Anyways, when we got on the bus, guys, when we finally left the airport, we were so disappointed. There was nothing special about Rotan, Honduras, except for the water. I'm sure that other cities in Honduras would look nice, but where we landed in Rotan, it wasn't special at all. It wasn't even as beautiful as Okesuna, Sedeberi. Now, on that same bus ride, the two security guards told us that their boss could have actually put us on the ship, that she had the power to do so, that all the crew members that work on the ship, they always let them on the ship, and that she could have actually allowed us to get on the ship, and that they also tried to talk to her to allow us to get on the ship, but she refused. And so it made no sense even to them that she was just so mean that day. Somebody said maybe she once dated a Nigerian guy that showed her pepe. Me, I don't know. I don't get I don't get involved. But this woman was cruel. And she had no empathy at all, not even for the kids. And I said to the security people, okay, you guys cannot put women in one room and men in another. We are 3 different families. We are not going anywhere. Give people their privacies. And they said, absolutely. They already discussed it. And as they were driving us to the hotel, they said, oh, look, that is where the ship will dock. They pointed, and there was even a ship there, not our own. So even the hotel was farther than where we wanted to go, you know. Guess what? They ended up taking us to the same hotel that we had booked. So I said to the hotel people, I said, I beg, cancel our reservation and refund our money. These people are willing to pay. So they paid for our night at the hotel, and we still had what we had reserved, which was a suite for each of the families. So the woman slept in her own suite. Each suite had 2 rooms. So she had her own room, and we slept with the kids in our room. And the man slept at the Osunji suite. So they had their own room as well. Say Lara coming the whole time. I was just trying to understand what was happening. I mean, all we wanted to do was go on a birthday vacation. I was like, Lord, how did we end up being detained, facing deportation? None of this is making sense. And that was hard. It was really hard. They allowed us to go and eat dinner, but they followed us. So they kept monitoring all our moves at the hotel to make sure that we did not escape. We had to go together everywhere we went. That night, guys, we called everyone that we knew that could help us. The US government responded. They spoke with us on the phone. They were willing to step in for Victor, especially him being a veteran, and the kids. But they said to him that they couldn't help me because I wasn't a citizen. Then we called the Nigerian government, guys. Okay, let me not laugh. Well, Nigerian embassy, they actually tried, guys. I spoke with some people at the Nigerian embassy in Washington, D.C. So they tried to help us. They wanted to contact the nearest Nigerian embassy there so that they could help us, but there was no Nigerian embassy in Honduras. So they said unless we go to Belize, which it wasn't possible. So there was nothing that they could do. Now, what was paining me the most, guys, is the fact that, and it's really sad, that Nigerian politicians don't know that what they do affects how Nigerian citizens are treated all over the world. Nigerian passport used to be strong. I heard that there was a time that you could travel even to the UK with Nigerian passport and you wouldn't even need a visa. We were being treated like this solely because I had Nigerian passports, and we shouldn't even be in TSC. But because a lot of Nigerians are now desperate to leave the country, there is this belief that anybody with a Nigerian passport is just trying to escape into their country, even into Honduras, which is also a third world country. Anyways, guys, that night they called us and said that there's a flight leaving the following morning and that we have to pay for it. We told them, shishi, we don't go pay. We were on the phone with the airline fighting because we told them, why did you clear us to go in to get on the plane to Honduras if we needed a visa? You guys know that if you are going to any country, you show your visa at the airport before they even allow you to get on the plane. If you're going to the US, you have to show your US visa before you get on the plane. Every country that I've been to, if I needed a visa, they would ask for it before even letting me on the plane. And we went through immigration in the US with the airline, and they cleared us. I was like, how could you? And now you're asking us to pay our way back. We said, hell no. Later they said, well, we are not deporting your husband and the children. If they want to come with you, they should pay for their flights. Victor said, absolutely not. You're not getting anything. So on Wednesday morning, the ship arrived. But they drove us to the airport. So we saw our friends from afar, They were literally 10 minutes from us at the airport. But of course, we were not allowed to get on the ship. So by this time, we were able to convince Auntie Kemi, Adetayo, and her children, Femi and Omotara, to please go and join the cruise. They didn't have Nigerian passport, guys, so they didn't have any issues with them. So we said, please, you've suffered enough. Auntie Kemi refused, but we begged her until she finally went because of the kids, so that the kids would at least have some sense of vacation. Now, as for the Osunjis, these are big people, by the way. Dr. Osunji that is working at the World Bank, I made him suffer like this. I made him face deportation. As for the Osunjis, Adeola is my cousin. She didn't even want to hear that she should be on the ship if I'm not on the ship. So each time I brought it up, she was offended. She felt offended. She was like, Adeola, stop asking me to go, So because my birthday party was supposed to be on Tuesday night on the ship, everybody on the ship, they had moved it to Wednesday night with the hope that we will all be on the ship by then. Everybody was wearing their African attire. They were ready to welcome us on board, to welcome us aboard. But once again, guys, we had to send a message that we were not coming. Now, this time around, the disappointment was on another level. I heard that some of them kept going to the bathroom. They were devastated. They were devastated. I heard that they held a prayer meeting. Thank you, guys. They kept rebuking the devil, as in nothing made sense. But then someone amongst them said, have you guys thought about the possibility that maybe God doesn't want them on this ship for a reason best known to him? And so they stopped rebuking the devil. They started thanking God that he's in control. So by this time, I was also starting to consider that maybe God didn't want us on that ship, even though it didn't make sense at the time. I couldn't understand why we forgot the bag, why no one saw it till it was late, why hurricane landed that particular day that made the ship leave early, why the airline cleared us to Honduras, yet we were told I needed a visa, why they had visa upon arrival, yet they won't give it to us, why they will escort us to hotel and not escort us to the ship. Like, it wasn't making sense, but I finally accepted that fate. It was really hard, but I started joking. I mean, what else can you do? I was like, okay, I guess we're getting deported. And as they were escorting us, to deport us at the airport, I asked the immigration officer that was guiding us so that we won't run away, the one that was holding our passports. I asked her to take our pictures and she did. Right after I just fought with her, because they took my baby's food. Can you imagine? They've never taken my child's food at any airport anywhere in the world, except this one in Rotana, Honduras. So once a meal. And then when the baby was hungry, I insisted that they had to pay for the food. They did not. Anyway, so I fought with her at length, but she took the pictures. Ooh, this is us getting deported from Honduras. Hello. Hi. Hello, Victor. So guys, they decided to put us at the very back of the plane so that we will not try to escape. They said Victor and the kids should sit in the front. He said, y'all must be crazy. Him and the Osunjis, they all came and sat at the back with me. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hey, I guess I should be thanking God that they did not deport me to Nigeria. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. I would just catch the next flight back to the US. But that was how they deported us to the America. When we got back to Houston, guys, we were all exhausted. We were beyond exhausted. But for some reason, I went to Mr. Wali Owade's studio to record a song about trusting God. I didn't finish it, so maybe next time I'm in Houston, I will try and finish it so that you guys can hear. Now, the next day, we decided it was time to take the kids home. I mean, they had suffered enough. We wanted to wait for our guests to return back to Houston so we could welcome them back and all, but guys, we were beyond exhausted, especially those kids. So we left. I'm very glad that at some point, though, that the people on the ship decided to have fun for us. And I want to thank Miss Vivian Anugo. Woo! an amazing singer. This woman decided to represent Niger at the singing competition on the ship that lasted for days. They had been doing the competition for days, and she kept winning and winning. Guess who won the competition? Vivian won the competition. Everybody in our party, they were all so proud, and even every Nigerian on the ship were like, yes, that's our daughter. If you have a wedding coming up, by the way, invite Vivian to come and sing. She's really, really good, guys. Don't let her tell you no. She's really good. So when we got back home, guys, we all got really sick except for Zion. And then we went to the ER and they confirmed that we had COVID. Were you out of the country recently? We said yes, we're in Honduras. Apparently, the Osunjis also got sick. So maybe we all got it on our flight back to the US. We don't know. And this time around, it was really bad. It lasted for a whole month. That's when I made that funny video about what happens when I'm sick versus what happens when my husband is sick.
Hello, listen. Hello?
I feel good. Victor literally took care of all of us. Now, the reason I waited to now to tell this story is because I know that many of you will be asking, why are you not an American citizen yet? That's a story for another day, guys. And I think what pained me the most when they started talking about, oh, if you were a citizen, you could go, is the fact that I had been interviewed for citizenship. I passed my citizenship test and I was denied American citizenship. That's a story for another day. So it was even more painful knowing that I could have actually been a citizen before the cruise, but of course, it did not happen. Like I said, that's a story for another day. No, I did not do anything illegal, and I have never been an illegal immigrant in America. Don't worry. It was actually an error on their side, but like I said, it's a story for another day. But early this year, guys, in January of this year, your girl became an American citizen. Hey! America, it's not rice and beans. It's not an easy something. Let me know what's in my eyes, so no be so. After how many years? 2003. So yeah, you'll be 22 years this year, guys. Hey! You wish to do praise dance. Hey! Your girl became a citizen. So guys, anywhere you see me like this, it doesn't matter even if it's next year. Celebrate me, I beg. It has not been easy at all. But this is your latest American citizen. Please, if you know the Osunjis and their details, please help me thank them for all their sacrifices. If you have a friend that doesn't mind getting detained and getting deported with you, that's a true friend. That's a true friend. Now, to all the guests on the ship, once again, I'm truly sorry for ruining your party, but I'm glad you got to make new friends. And can you guys believe that they have refused to close down the WhatsApp group? They said we have to do another cruise together, that we have to do this again. So hopefully someday we'll all get to do a real cruise. Having said that, I also want to say that if things are not going the way you planned it, maybe God is protecting you from something. It was really hard for me to accept that, but you know, it is true. We still don't know why that happened. We couldn't get our money back from the cruise line or the airline that flew us to Honduras. And even though it was our fault, there's a reason that God allowed it. So Victor had asked to take me on another cruise since then. I said no. I don't want to hear anything cruise right now. He offered to take me to Hawaii. I said no. But now I'm doing better. Now I think I can do it without feeling traumatized. And it feels good to also have the same passport as the rest of the family. I still have faith in Nigeria, by the way, that one day our passports will be respected and desired by people from all over the world. Everybody will be lining up Sunday to get Nigerian passports. And of course, the next time Victor says, let's check on something, your girl is on it like, did you say, oh yeah, let's check? I'm not dismissing anything. As in, he says, let's check something like this. I'm like, oh yeah, let's check it. And guys, first of all, I can't believe you watch all the way to the end. But now that you watch all the way to the end, what are you going to do? You're going to call Victor to say, you want to buy a house. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. All right, y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real. I've been here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, I'm going to see you later. Peace out.